It's Robert Allen, and on Tuesdays, I bring you somebody's testimony. And so this client, I remember very well. It was back in 2007. It's actually prior to the market crash. They actually bought the home in June of 2007, and things started tanking in August. But here's the thing. The woman literally was on Section 8 with two boys, twins, and just wanted to do better for her family. And thankfully, there was a program at the time that allowed me to help get her about 60 some odd $1,000 in down payment assistance. And she went from being on Section 8 one day as a renter to a buyer the next day. Marcus Purnell, Home Free USA, great organization I used to work with, did a lot of counseling to teach her about credit, teach her about home ownership and how to take care of a home and all the things that you need to do to be a good buyer. And she was able to go through the program and actually still use some of the payments from Section 8 that would go towards rent, use it for a house. If the government was going to pay the money for rent, they would actually use it to pay for a mortgage. And statistics show that would be better for communities, all that kind of good stuff, and eventually get them off of the Section 8. So long story short, sold the house for $188,000, 2007. And she got about $60,000 in down payment assistance. It's the second highest amount of down payment assistance I've ever been able to get someone, which brought her mortgage balance down to 120-ish. And then on top of that, Section 8 probably paid 400 of her $1,000 mortgage. So it was a great, beautiful story, great for her kids, all of that kind of good stuff. So see if this works, if I turn it around. Just ran some stuff. I'm reaching out to all of my clients, letting them know what's going on in the market. So I literally just did this and turned the camera around to look at the screen. I don't know how I feel about that number. It depends on the condition and what her street looks like. I've actually not driven by it in a while. But if we take a look at some of the other automated estimates, I wouldn't be mad if I bought something for 188,000. It was worth over 300 some odd thousand a few years later. Right next to the stadium. People didn't want to live there at the time, but it was a brand new construction house. She wasn't going to have to worry about any repairs or anything like that to start off with. I had a builder warranty, all of that good stuff. So it's Testimony Tuesday. You went from being a renter on Section 8 one day to buying a home the next day. And yes, she did go through some counseling to get some credit help and learn some things. But at the end of the day, she's a homeowner and sitting on a few $100,000 in equity. Versus if she had been renting all this time, she would have paid tens of thousands of dollars in rent, potentially never gotten off of Section 8, and never been able to create wealth for her family and her kids. So real life story, just making sure on the screen it didn't show the address, but real life story of a client I helped way back in 2007. All right, Miss Carter, good job.